that's always my goal, is to be available for the next game, and doing everything I can with the medical staff to be able to get my body right, to be able to do that. And but yeah,
I think it's going to be one of those weird injuries where it's like it'll be found out that it's like as I've said, I think it could very well be a pinched nerve.
I mean, I feel good. I'm going to be day to day from here on out, and doing everything I can to put myself in position to play the next game every single time. You know.
Caitlin Clark's jersey sales are breaking records. Her games are drawing massive viewership, and she's the face of the league. But now, she's sidelined with a groin injury, and the WNBA is holding its breath. What if her absence costs more than just wins for the Fever? What if it threatens the WNBA's momentum itself? This shocking injury update has raised tough questions the league never wanted to answer. Is the WNBA ready to move forward without its brightest star?
It's looking like there is a possibility that she plays in the Commissioner's Cup game. Is it a probability? No.
Cheer. Yeah, she's right here in some tights. I've never seen Caitlin Clark in tights, I don't think.
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
There's obviously going to be a major crowd, and the Lynx is one of the best teams in the league. So they could certainly use her back in the line.
That, like, she's gotten scans. The reason they're saying day-to-day is I think that it is actually day-to-day because I think they don't have a clue what's wrong with her.
You know what's wild? Caitlin Clark isn't just a player for the Indiana Fever. She's the heartbeat of their team and maybe the entire WNBA right now. But as the Fever prepare for the high-stakes Commissioner's Cup against the Lynx, they have to face an unthinkable challenge: playing without her. A groin injury has sidelined Clark, and the timing couldn't possibly be worse. Winning this game would mean everything. But how do you pull that off when the player who leads your team in points, assists, and viewership isn't even suiting up?
Okay, so she was a limited participant. She's trying to put herself in a position to get back for the next game.
Maybe just keeping it hot, maybe some heat. Like, obviously it's not putting major heat on it, but you can put some sort of, like, it can keep the heat in.
Now, let's talk about this matchup, because it's got a layer of drama you can't make up. Cheryl Reeve, the Lynx coach, is the same person who didn't select Clark for Team USA. That move sent waves through women's basketball, and it gave every one of their head-to-head matchups extra heat. This was supposed to be Clark's shot at making her statement on the court. Instead, Reeve and the Lynx walk into this one almost like they have the upper hand before the game even tips off. You can feel the tension even without Clark on the floor, and you can bet it'll spill into every possession. Without Clark, the Fever's entire game plan is in chaos. For most of the season, she's been the one orchestrating their offense, spreading the floor with her deep shooting range, and making impossible passes look routine. She's the player defenses have to rotate to the second she crosses half court. Now, they're scrambling to adjust without her. Teams like the Fever, who rely so heavily on their star, usually don't transition smoothly. History backs this up.
That is just causing all the problems in her leg. Something like a pinched nerve in her hip, which is causing groin pain, which is what caused extra stress.
But when he was with ESPN, he had I believe it was the biggest national radio sports show in the country. May still be the.
It's going to be diagnosed just like her quads, just like obviously the MRI showed us quad strain, and then it was okay.
The Fever could look at teams like the 2019 Warriors, who fell apart when Steph Curry was injured, or even smaller examples like the Sparks struggling last year without Nneka Ogwumike. Coach Stephanie White says the team needs Clark to recover fully, and the way she frames it feels strategic. She's emphasizing balance, keeping Clark involved from the sidelines while building confidence in the rest of the roster. Players like Kelsey Mitchell are stepping up in her absence, and they've adopted this gritty, all-hands-on-deck mentality. This isn't just about one game. It's their chance to show the league they're more than just Caitlin Clark's team. And if they can pull this off, people might start looking at the Fever in a whole new way.
After she came back from the quad injury, that she wasn't going to play, and then all of a sudden, we found out her...
Steph is wearing the Caitlin Clark shoes. Seems obvious she's playing nice shoes too.
Imagine this. Caitlin Clark has become more than the face of the Indiana Fever. She's quickly turned into the centerpiece of the WNBA's explosive growth. But now, with her sidelined by injury, the ripple effect stretches far beyond her team. Her presence on the court doesn't just boost her squad, it attracts millions of viewers, drives record-breaking jersey sales, and inspires a new generation of fans. In fact, her influence alone has elevated league merchandise sales by a jaw-dropping 550%. That's not just star power. It's a financial lifeline for a growing league. Without her, the spotlight dims, and the stakes get much higher.
It looked like she wasn't going to go. And now one could argue, should she have been back? That's the other question.
She is getting shots up. And look, it doesn't seem like she's doing anything major.
I was like, is this on ESPN? Is this on a big network? I think it's a Commissioner's Cup final game.
The numbers are already showing cracks in the system. Ratings for WNBA games have plummeted by over 50%, raising an uncomfortable question. Can the league sustain its momentum without Clark leading the charge? Sure, the WNBA has been on the rise, but its reliance on her star appeal is now more obvious than ever. The Fever's struggles without Clark might actually mirror a larger issue for the league. How do you shift the focus from one breakout player to building a broader, more balanced foundation for long-term success? Other leagues have faced similar crossroads. Think back to the NBA when Michael Jordan retired, or when Serena Williams took breaks from tennis. Star absences left a gap, but the lesson is clear. Leagues that want to thrive can't rely on a single name forever.
You can see Caitlin Clark is wearing compression tights. She's out here with the bun. She's doing her Diana Taurasi impression right now.
For the Indiana Fever against the hated Cheryl Reeve-led Minnesota Lynx.
The WNBA now faces that same challenge, but in some ways it's uniquely prepared. Rivals like Angel Reese know exactly how to keep fans engaged, even when Clark isn't suiting up. Reese herself said, "It's been a competition since college. At the end of the day, I'm growing women's basketball and helping women's basketball." Their rivalry keeps interest alive and could be a bridge until Clark returns. There's also an unexpected upside, opportunities for other players to step up. If the Fever's underdog story gains traction, the WNBA may find itself building a deeper roster of heroes. The question is, will this test allow the league to grow? Or will it always hinge on its biggest stars?
Of Caitlin Clark going through practice. And in case you do not realize, tomorrow night, huge game.
Man, Caitlin Clark is wearing gear. She's wearing playing gear, which is something that we had not seen.
Caitlin Clark's injury isn't just a setback for the Fever. It's a turning point for the entire league. The WNBA's explosive growth has been tied so closely to players like Clark, and now they face a challenge that could define their future. This moment isn't just about her recovery. It's about showing that women's basketball can thrive even when its biggest star isn't on the court. Fans have the chance right now to rally behind the Fever, lean into the league's rivalries, and embrace the evolving stories that make the WNBA special. Can the Fever shock the Lynx? Stay tuned.